Hello, 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 people. Welcome back to another video. And not just any video, we're doing a live F5 commentary of the DIVI Project. It's usually on YouTube, but not this time. They're doing it straight from Twitter. So I'm just doing a live stream for you guys on it. Let's go over the news beforehand as we kill time. It's going to happen in 5 minutes. So here we go. Please hop on into the chat if you want to. So we'll go over those. Here we go. Let's just dive right in. Sorry. Live videos, right? So here we go. Crypto Made Easy, DIVI Project. We are currently at a price at 7 cents, down 0.51% in the last 24 hours. So not bad. Market cap's at $191,617,956. And we hold a current market cap rank of 293. Not bad. Above the 300 again. So way to go, DIVI. Sorry. Now going over Masternode numbers, we're at 2123. So we are down one from yesterday running. Looks like the amount of DIVI being staked to Masternodes is 49.8% of the total DIVI supply. So solid numbers. Yeah. And Twitter news, let's see, DIVI Wallet, crypto for everyone, no exceptions, cheers. Someone replied to that, what's your favorite thing about DIVI? And they replied, how easy it is to use when sending cryptocurrencies to somebody else. My 75-year-old mother was able to set up a mobile masternode with one click by herself. So awesome, way to go. That's awesome to hear. DIVI made easy, that's everything. Crypto made easy, so anybody can use it. So that's just awesome to hear. Now we are at the Nick Sopanera's webpage because here it is, the DIVI Live F5. We got 3 more minutes. What is he going to be covering? Roadmap updates, DeFi, DIVI DeFi discussions, community initiatives, La Liga updates, and the AMA. So set a reminder, but here we are waiting. We've got 3 more minutes till it goes live. Looks like we got 1 viewer in here. Awesome. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the DIVI Live at 5 with Crypto Sherpa commentary. Hope you're having a fantastic new year, new day, and stacking up on those DIVI tokens. All right, yeah, so we're just waiting. We got 2 more minutes. Yeah, wonder what Nick else is going to talk about. Wonder what the new roadmap's going to look like. Because they took down the last one, I remember. It was like a month ago they took it down, so we'll see. Let's see. Nick also tweeted, if you have to change your lifestyle in a bear market, you were living above your means to begin with. So funny. Boop, boop, boop. So who's ready for this? I'm excited. The DIVI Live at 5. Let me make sure volume's up so you guys can hear. Sweet. Sorry for my voice, sounds a little rusty. Always around this time of the night. Like, I'm fine and great all day, but then my voice gets all raspy. I don't know why. What's going on? And yes, I am. I am live, Manny. Thank you so much for being here. Yep, we're doing a Live at 5 recap because it's not on YouTube this time. It's going to be on Twitter. So I thought I'd bring the Live at 5 to YouTube with some commentary. But yeah, we're just waiting. We've got 1 minute to go. Exciting things. Can't wait to hear what's gonna happen. All right, 1 minute to go. I gotta love me some warm water. Does wonders to the throat. Yeah, he's looking for the Live at 5. Yes, cool, thanks. But yeah, no problem, man. Yeah. So he just said we're doing it Twitter this year or this month. I wonder if it's going to just be this month or if it's going to be back on YouTube next. But if it's not on YouTube, that's what I'm here for, to spread that DIVI news. Okay, it's 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock, so it should have begun. Let's see. Notifications has started. All right, says it started. We're waiting. Where are you, Nick? Don't leave us hanging. But yeah, can't wait to hear more updates on La Liga. Because that was awesome that they showed that in the live sporting event. Was it Barcelona versus Marcana? I cannot remember, but that was awesome seeing a live ad. Alrighty. Come on, Nick. What's going on? Do we need to go anywhere else? Nick Sapanero. Yep, so we're just waiting on Nick. That's what we're doing, people. We're waiting on Nick, the CEO of the DIVI Project. I always can't wait to hear that live at 5 music. It gives me chills. Alrighty. Come on, Nick. Nick. Twitter space. Come on. Yep. Nick's a busy man. It's okay for him to be a couple minutes late to the show. It's only been 1 minute. I'm just so impatient, Nancy, right now. Okay, come on. Live at 5. Live at 5. Here we go. I think we're in. So we are here. Everyone's inside. Join the space.
Hey.
Here we go.
Actually live. Actually talking to each other, which is awesome. So without further ado, let's get into the first live at 5 of 2022. There's no music or anything, so I guess we just jump right in. So first of all, obviously, we always kick off with a crypto market update. And by the way, you can always join the fun of the Live at 5 with the hashtag Live at 5. So yeah, crypto market update. Interesting market conditions right now. Obviously, everything is decimated, and that is okay. I think OGs in the space are pretty level-headed right now. I'm not seeing a ton of panic really among anybody. Of course, we had some events go down in Kazakhstan that potentially had an impact on an already affected market. If you guys don't know, the Kazakhstani government is going through a ton of turmoil right now, and they were responsible for, I think it was like 14 or 18% of the hash rate of Bitcoin. A lot of the miners that were in China actually left China after the mining was banned there and moved to Kazakhstan. And unfortunately, the primary internet service provider in Kazakhstan shut down the internet, literally shut off the internet, and the hash rate of Bitcoin dropped significantly as a result. And yet we just celebrated Bitcoin's birthday just a couple of days ago, 4 days ago now, on January 3rd. 13 years this amazing technology has been in our hands. The Genesis block, again, was 13 years ago. It's amazing to see where it has gone. I know that we see this $40,000 price point of Bitcoin as a dump or as a dip, but if you think about it, it's actually up like tens of thousands of percent from that 13 years ago first Genesis block. It's at $1 trillion market cap now, and the whole market overall is $2 trillion. We as humans who decided together to build something, created a $2 trillion market on our own without any intermediaries. That is amazing. So obviously, one of the biggest opportunities that has been opened up in recent history is investing in crypto, building crypto businesses. And, lots of people have made a name for themselves, including DIVI. So we're really excited about where we're going as a company and where the industry's gone and continues to go. So that's a crypto market update. We'll jump into the numbers. I know you guys have been actively asking about, how many downloads has the wallet received? Did La Liga have an impact, the first game, and all that stuff? Yes, we have seen 10,000 active users in the wallet. It's a major increase. I think we have 18,000 total downloads now. So we are seeing an uptick. We haven't seen a huge uptick in the La Liga regions yet. But, we just saw our very first game, which is a perfect segue into the announcement section of this Live at 5. So yeah, you may have seen, and I think we can pin. I've never done this before. The tweet. Ryan, are you able to do the pinning? I can try to figure it out if not. But basically,
I don't think I can.
I'll try to figure it out in a second. The first game appeared on January 2nd across a bunch of different regions, and it was on one of the largest sports broadcasting networks in the Middle East. Very, very big deal. More than 1 billion viewers watch that channel every single game. So we're really, really excited to know that so many eyes were on our logo for the first time. Some of them, some maybe have heard of Divi before, and we're going to continue to do that for the next 3.5 years. It's just going to keep appearing on the sides of the pitch, next to the goal. Of course, there will be TV ads. We will have influencer marketing, social media through La Liga, their various channels, activations in person. You guys know the whole deal. And you can find more about the partnership on our website, diviwallet.com. So yeah, I mean, it's obviously a very exciting moment. A lot of my friends and of course the community were all hitting us up saying, oh my God, it's happening. It's real. We said it would start in January, and guess what? It started in January. So we are excited to be moving forward into 2022. I think we're going to see a surge of new supporters for the brand through this partnership, and of course, other partnerships that we forge throughout the coming year. With that, I guess we can kind of move into Ryan's section. We've definitely grown the foundation marketing side of things. Our Giphy channel is growing insanely, which is crazy. So Ryan, take it over.
Yeah, I'm excited to be here, and I guess the Giphy or the Jiffy, however you pronounce it, channel has been blowing up. We have over 25 million views, which is huge, and then I think it's growing in popularity because one of the most recent GIFs that was put out got like 2 or 3 million views on the first day after it's been posting. So that's just a big thank you to the community. And as part of that, we want to encourage everybody to continue to subscribe to the Divi Project on Giphy and use those GIFs. Put them on your posts, get the visibility out on Twitter and, additional social platforms that you're sharing this stuff. So that was the Giphy. So make sure to subscribe to them. I think there's also a big push to get everybody, if you haven't already, to watch the 2021 recap video. There was a lot of things, obviously. The wallet, La Liga, staking vaults, just a lot of excitement that happened in the past year in 2021. And we put everything into the video, and you can get it on YouTube. I'm sure we can shoot out the link to that somehow, but make sure you're up to speed, because 2021 was awesome and we recapped it, but we're even more excited about what's coming ahead for 2022. And then I guess next up, we wanted to take an opportunity to basically highlight the community, both everybody in here who's listening, being a part, supporting the project, but also supporting some of the efforts down in Venezuela. There, Ramos and his team. Ramos is kind of the figurehead, but he networks and does a lot of different things in the Venezuelan community to help out people less fortunate, and has done an amazing job with that. And that's what we want you guys to continue to support him and continue being awesome, obviously. One other example, I don't know if you guys have seen it, but the spaghetti dinner is something that I think I want to say it's like the 5th year in a row, but Tristan Pilato, if I pronounce it right.
I think that's right.
But he puts on a spaghetti Go ahead.
I think that's right. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but he's putting together, again, another opportunity, another venture for the community to help out the local communities that might not necessarily be, a bunch of Divi, but they're all learning and they're all becoming part of the larger community. So that's awesome. And I think that's about it for the community aspect. Just thank you to everybody and keep being awesome. I guess I'll turn it over to the mic now.
Yeah, the community-driven efforts are probably one of my favorite things about this project, because it's not something that Divi necessarily drives forward. We do try to contribute in a variety of ways. Of course, we'll donate Divi. We have our 1% of our treasury goes to philanthropic causes and things like that. But yeah, Tristan, we met in the very, very early days of Divi, back when it was DivX, and the community was actually on Slack. If you guys have been around a long time, you probably remember Slack communities. But yeah, he's been doing this spaghetti drive, and this year he actually gave out PPE stuff. He gave out some hand sanitizer, masks, stuff like that to his community out in the Philippines. It's awesome to see. Of course, Ramos is doing the Lord's work every single week, feeding so many people, hundreds of adults and children in his villages in Venezuela. So yeah, thank you to the community, and keep pushing those amazing efforts forward, because that's what crypto's for. It's really a way to spread wealth and redistribute wealth in a very responsible and helpful way. So awesome stuff. We do have some special guests here on the call today. Chris Irola is our Chief Product Officer. If you're not familiar with him, he was in a video last year where he gave one of the most popular updates of the year. Actually, we got a lot of positive feedback on his roadmap update. Let's give up some hundreds and claps for Chris. Hop on stage, brother.
Thanks, Nick. Hey, everybody. It's been amazing. Like I just came on 7 months ago, and this has been really a pivotal year for Divi. Formal transition into crypto made easy with the launch of our mobile wallet early in the year. Went from zero to launch relatively smoothly. And as Nick said, we've got 10,000 active users, active downloads, which is, in my opinion, exponential growth really for an early mobile wallet. And it's really based on the community. I mean, that's what it really comes down to. So then we really concentrated on making sure that we had our core IP in the wallet. So we've got our nodes, all the tiers are in there. And then in October, as Nick mentioned, we've got our staking vaults. We finally got them in the wallet. So one of the more highly anticipated releases. So that laid the foundation. That foundation is the core IP. So now we're differentiated in the market already as we're starting. And moving into 2022, it's just going to expand out. So internationalization was another thing we included in 2021. We got Spanish language in the wallet. We're soon to get French in, and we're also establishing polls so that we can start to broaden that. We've got it all mapped out, so it's really easy to get new languages in. And the La Liga partnership, which allowed us to go globally available, as well as we're going to start pushing this up to the world, like we were talking about. We got eyes on it, billions of eyes on it that we haven't had before. So I mean, 2021 has just been astounding. So 2022, the concept for 2022, the themes for 2022 is expansion of utility, interoperability, and always onboarding and user experience. So keeping the Divi Made Easy concept going, right? We're our Crypto Made Easy concept going. We're always looking at that. UX is always the core tenet in what we do. So as I was talking about a little bit in Q4, Buy Divi in the Wallet will be our first push for a release in 2022, and we're anticipating it coming in Q1 at this point. So what Buy Divi in the Wallet means is fiat on and offboarding. So you can buy Divi directly with a credit and debit card. You can also connect your bank account through a partnership that we have. In addition to that, we're going to allow for swaps. So a conversion of about 270 coins and tokens via the wallet, and then ERC20 support in the wallet. So you can custodialize your ERC20 tokens in the Divi wallet with this particular interoperability and utility added to the wallet as we move forward. And that's just the first release. So now looking at it from a slightly different perspective, we're looking at putting in multi-sig, and that's going to start in the desktop. And then it'll soon become part of the mobile wallet as well. But if you're not familiar with multi-sig, basically what that allows you to do is you and a trusted partner or partners can co-sign on transactions, or are required to co-sign for a transaction to take place. So again, desktop wallet first, mobile wallet soon after, and this is going to expand utility, security, and peace of mind for those folks that are a little bit concerned about keeping, all of their massive bags in their wallet on the mobile device anyway. So multi-sig's next after that, and then this is really surrounding, like, I'm encompassing kind of the Q2 up to Q2 look here. I'm not really going all the way into 2022 because the La Liga partnership is really going to be influencing our roadmap in a positive way as well. There's not only La Liga with, like, some skins and some designs and some some integrations that we can make have happen with La Liga itself, but also with the other co-sponsors. So there are quite a few partners out there that are heavy hitters that we now have access to and want to collaborate with very deeply. So keep your eye out for these contribution and collaboration elements there, and how it'll influence our roadmap. We're really pushing forward in a really positive way with this. Another one is new coins. So we want to support additional coins, additional partnerships, additional companies like ourselves. And you voted and we listened, Casper. You're next. Like, we're already talking. We've got some things going. It's beginning. We got to schedule it in, but we'll get there. Casper is going to be the first coin that we're going to put in, and then bridges. And I know that Josh is coming up next. He's going to expand on this quite a bit. We're going to start with an ETH bridge. It's actively under development right now, which basically opens up to the world of DeFi. So expansion of utility, interoperability, and then from there it'll be more and more chains. So we're really looking forward to even just the early stages of 2022 with what we're looking at, and we're mapping out H2. So pretty much the story at this point. And I pass it back to you, Nick.
That is, I'm not just saying this. Like, I already knew what you were gonna say, and I'm still really, really excited. So,
I'm super excited.
yeah. It's awesome to see. We've laid a good foundation. We're able to build upon that foundation. Still some obvious features that need to be in there, but then we start to get creative and we get to be a little bit more flexible about what comes next.
Exactly.
And I think a lot of that flexibility is going to come from a lot of that interoperability that we talked to, which is my sort of haphazard segue into bringing Josh on stage to talk about what's coming from the innovation department.
Thanks, Nick. Appreciate the intro. So just to give everybody a little bit of context on 2021, we started 2021, me specifically, I joined the team back in May. We started with a pretty heavy research phase. Those of you that have been following along on Twitter and following along with all our social channels, you know that we've been looking to bridge to Ethereum for quite some time now. One of the first challenges that we needed to figure out was getting a UTXO coin, which is a layer one, like ourselves, to actually go into a smart contract, right? And so figuring that out was a really, really difficult challenge, especially because we wanted to do things in the most decentralized way possible. And so we spent a couple of months researching different solutions here and there, trying to do certain tests on whether we could create zero knowledge and partnerships. And some of you remember we tried doing different partnerships for the bridging, but in the end, what we realized is the best solution ultimately would have came out from us creating it ourselves, right? And so we spent some time in the heavy research phase, really put together a beautiful tech spec of what we felt would be the most viable way forward and would still maintain the greatest amount of decentralization and benefit for the end user, right? So for the community members that wanted to use Divi, we want to make sure that the incentive and the benefit is still there for them on the other side when they move interoperably. So part of that, and this pertains more to 2022, is having features that allow them to earn similarly to the way they would on the layer one, right? And so as everyone's familiar, you can stake your Divi, you can deploy a Masternode, right? And that's probably everyone's favorite feature about Divi, is the fact that you can make a really nice passive income on it. But that's a little bit more challenging on the layer two. And so trying to figure out that problem is a very fun challenge, right? And so we wanted to make sure that we rooted everything that we did within very sound economics, that we always did one-to-one pegs, right? And that any of the token supply that existed on an EVM network like Ethereum was backed by a token or by a coin on the layer one side. So, a lot of folks ask, oh, well, why is it taking this long? And it's like, well, it's really important that we do things the right way, right? And that we do it with conviction and really sound fundamentals rather than speed through the process, and take shortcuts. So because of that heavy research that we did, we are now about halfway through the development of the smart contract for the eDivi token. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to say this on here, but we are right now targeting January 15th for the completion of that smart contract. Despite that, we still have to go through an independent security audit. We would likely be using Certic for that. We're still going to figure out how we can create some kind of a honeypot test, some bounties to see if folks out in the community would like to try and break it. But we want to make sure that we do a lot of testing on it before we release it to the public. But at the end of the day, it's going to be ready in January 15th. The finished product is going to be ready. We're just going to spend a good amount of time testing it just to make sure that it's safe, that it's secure, and that it puts people's security first. So that's really exciting. And then beyond that, the next thing that we've been working on in terms of research is the DeFi protocols. Not sure how familiar everyone is with DeFi. For those who are, you might be familiar with automated market making mechanisms like Uniswap and SushiSwap and PancakeSwap, and the traditional staking pools and farms, right? So we've evaluated some of those opportunities and really started to architect how we can bring some of that same incentive that you have in the layer one to the layer two while maintaining really sound economics across the chains. And I think that we've done a really good job of architecting a solution that's going to accomplish that. And then beyond that, we've also begun looking at a partnership to bring Divi into a DeFi 2.0 context, right? And for those of you who, again, might not necessarily be familiar with DeFi, DeFi 2.0 refers to the DAOs that hold their own liquidity within their own treasury. So for instance, you can think about Olympus Protocol or Wonderland or Foam, these different protocols that actually take an over-collateralized position within their treasury in order to mint a supply of a currency. Usually what stands out to most folks of those are that the APYs are incredibly high, right? And so this adds a fun new element for a very different segment of the market. I realize that some folks really prefer to just kind of set their money and forget it, right? And I do a lot of that myself. I really don't like to worry about it that much. But for those who want to be more active in the management of their money and really want to go ahead and try and execute whatever opportunities they find within an inefficient market, this is going to be something that really caters to those folks, right? Divi has made a product and a project that is so incredibly easy to use. We're trying to bring that same mission into the DeFi world, right? If you're familiar with DeFi, I'm incredibly entrenched in DeFi right now, and I still think it's very complicated. We want to take those elements that we've brought in terms of the ease of use and the accessibility that we've pretty much instilled into our existing products and take that and put it into DeFi, and then take those features and then put them within our core product. And so this quarter specifically is going to be a lot of myself working with Chris, making sure that everything that we do is very product focused too, right? Expanding the utility of the coin isn't just for the coin's sake, that we're doing it in a way that is user friendly and that fits well within the product that we have, that we want to celebrate with this partnership. So that's a little bit about this past year, what we're aiming for Q2. There's still some pretty exciting partnerships on the horizon. I'm not sure if we're really at the point where we can announce them, but we should be getting across the finish line on some pretty big stuff here pretty soon. But yeah, there's a lot going on. It's surreal. I hate to repeat what everyone else is saying, but it's been a super exciting year so far. And I'm super pumped about 2022.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Thank you, Josh. Josh Caleb, our Chief Innovation Officer, definitely has taught me a lot. I can say in the past, how long you been here? 8 months, 9 months now?
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah, I mean, I had a cursory understanding of DeFi and its opportunities. I feel like I have a very, very still cursory understanding, but much more significant now, actually playing around with it and feeling more comfortable with it. But you're right, there's a lot of improvements that can be made, and that's kind of what we've done best over the course of time. And I'm excited to see where we can take DeFi next and how it will impact our overall ecosystem. I think anyone listening to this and our community at large, they can start to see how we always adhere to the philosophy of making it accessible to everyone everywhere, making it as easy as possible. But we also want to ensure that we are attracting a broader market, as well as the niches that exist. These various sectors start to pop up in crypto now, right? And it's hard to follow all of the various threads. You have NFTs, you have DeFi, you have still the old staking mechanisms, DPoS. There's a million things every single day. It's changing. So ensuring that we have a strategic approach to all of these things, of course, adhering to Jeff's Divi Everywhere philosophy is paramount, I believe, to the success of Divi and altcoins in 2022, especially when it comes to interoperability. We're starting to see that layer ones are settlement layers, right? That's become the narrative and the truth in practice. And these various layer twos and side chains and bridges are becoming the way that will ultimately, I believe, interact with blockchain in the future, at least in the near future. So yeah, thanks again, Josh. That was awesome. We have some time here to jump into an AMA, and before we do that, and I just ask that you guys raise your hand if you want to speak. I want to just give a shout out to some of the people that joined this. It's a space. It's not a podcast, but it kind of is. Maddie Satz, I was just on your show yesterday, and thank you for joining us. Welcome to the show. The Voice, who's our amazing support lead, Chief, I forget what he calls himself, Chief Evangelist, Captain Nemo Ramos, always leading the community. Zach, thanks for joining us. Russ, we're praying for you. I know you're sick, your family's sick. Our prayers are out there for you. Tyler, our amazing GIF generator, Aaron, Sneaky Pete, Grant. Everybody seems to have joined up today. Divi Daddy's out here. This is so cool. I don't usually get to see everybody who's joined us. So thanks to everybody. If I missed you, I'm sorry. But yeah, awesome turnout tonight. So without further ado, let's jump into the
What happened?
AMA. I think we have left row, Lenti. We will add you as speaker. What's up, man? How are you?
Guess he's not there.
Hey, Nick. Hey, I love Divi, man. Just want to say you've been grinding for quite a while, and kudos to you and your team for how far you've taken Divi. I've been with Divi for about a year and a half, and not really a full-time community contributor, but just watching from afar and participating in other ecosystems. But one question I have maybe is for Chris or Joshua in regards to DeFi. Are you guys looking at something about the possibility of maybe having some type of liquid staking where, your Masternode, you can maybe borrow against it or leverage it for other utility? Is that something that you guys are considering or in the works? And then my second question is there any thought of any stable coins becoming a part of the Divi ecosystem just because it's worldwide and stable coins seems to be the movement as far as how transactions are going to happen on blockchain?
Absolutely. Great questions. Josh, you want to take the liquid staking question?
Yeah, happy to address that. First off, thanks for the question. To address the liquid staking, one of the reasons that we wanted to move into a bridge and get over the EVM chain is because in order for us to have those kinds of smart contracts where you can actually pull liquidity from a position that's locked up, is because we can't currently do that on the UTXO blockchain, right? One of the great things about our existing blockchain is that it uses minimal computation. It's really simple math. It's pretty much indestructible, but it doesn't have the account-based model that would let us basically pull from a staking position. And so moving into Ethereum, one of the things that we wanted to do is first approach the major players like Aave and Compound, right? Because that's obviously the lowest hanging fruit for us to establish those partnerships and give lending opportunities to the people who have Divi collateral. If it doesn't, it is a priority on our list where we are going to want to add that feature. And if we can't necessarily get that in a very expeditious way through these partnerships, we're going to go ahead and just build that ourselves. As you might be familiar with, like whenever you do a loan within the DeFi space, it's always over collateralized, right? So you can take out a fairly significant amount of loan to value, right, of liquidity from your collateral. And so we're going to talk to Aave and Compound. We've already myself, I've already begun reaching out to their teams to see if we can try and get an integration going as soon as we get across the bridge. Otherwise, I'll have to get back to you and see, but it is part of the plan. It is. And I'm not sure if we'd call it staking, but yeah, it's essentially an over collateralized position, if that answers your question. And then as regarding the stable coins, we haven't really explored too much about doing a stable coin on the existing blockchain. If we were to do it, and this is a conversation that we've had extensively, and we've been deliberating about this for some time, if we do create a stable coin within our ecosystem, one of the things that I would prefer to see, and this is just me speaking on behalf of myself, is the same model as Terra Luna, right? If you're familiar with the different ways that stable coins are accomplished, you have the algorithmic ones like DAI, you have the ones that are collateralized like Tether. Terra, on the other hand, is accomplished because of exchange rate. So Terra USD is actually backed by the dollar because in order to create UST, you have to burn Luna at that price rate, right? You've got, let's say for instance, Luna is worth $100. You burn the Luna that you have, you get 100 UST. And so rather than having this treasury, right, with reserves that back the value, it's backed by that constant exchange rate back and forth. And that's really the method that I would prefer to see, just given the legal sort of regulation that I see coming down the pipe for players like Tether. But if we did it, it would either have to be on a sidechain that we create, which is something we're exploring right now with our blockchain lead, or if we built a new core entirely, we would consider it then. But for the meantime, it's a good ways away on the roadmap. If that answers your question.
Great answer. Yeah, I think stablecoin is something that we bring up a lot in our like internal conversations as well. Especially when we're talking about DeFi 2.0, these sort of symbiotic DAO structures and like Ohm and Degen Box and Temple and Frax, Token Mac and all that stuff that's been coming out. There's some really interesting case studies now, and I'm interested to see what takes hold. You know, we've always kind of taken the approach of like, okay, let's see what works really well, and then divify it, if you will. But yeah, I mean, there's definitely something there. But yeah, as Josh said, maybe not in the immediate future. Okay, so thanks for the question. We got Russian Bot AI. I love that username every single time I see it. I'm bringing you up on stage, man.
Oh, hello.
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, I got a bunch of questions actually, but I'll just stick to the telecom deal for now. It's not clear to me exactly how it's going to work yet. I think it's probably just because you guys haven't given us the details yet. But when people get their phones from this company, who's going to own the Divi, the company or the customer? You know, how much will be on there? And did the telecom company already buy the Divi, or have they yet to buy it?
Great question, man. So yeah, this is how it will work, at least from my understanding, and we're still early on with this partnership. To give you guys some context, the telecom deal is not something that we turn around tomorrow. It's online. Like this is the first phase of it takes about a half a year. The next phase takes almost 2 years, and there's also governmental things in the way and regulations and things that we have to deal with. Not we, but the company that we're working with. So don't necessarily expect the impact of this, other than speculative, to be immediate. Although it will be broad reaching when it occurs. Just to lay that on the ground. But to answer your question, yeah, the phones will come loaded with a wallet that has a certain amount of coins on it. As far as how much, it's still being programmed out, still being laid out in the program, I should say. The company has not purchased any DIVI yet. Of course, they will. And I'm sorry, the third question you asked was, remind me.
I need to think about it myself. Okay, so
I think it was who owns the DIVI.
Yeah.
Oh, who owns DIVI? Yeah. So we have talked to them about both structures because they'll be white labeling the wallet. It won't be DIVI wallet necessarily. They could, through some of their other partnerships, perform a custody of those funds. That's not really up to us or something that will contribute. Well, will contribute to the decision maybe to an extent. But we're not building this for them. We're licensing the technology to them. So we're just basically advising the project from a high level. Another company is actually doing the system integration. So, yeah.
Well, can the customers sell the DIVI, or that's not an option?
Of course. Yeah. So ideally what they want the customer to do is use the DIVI to pay for their services. But if they so choose, yeah, they could, of course, sell it or put the rewards on the market, what have you, instead of using them to purchase. Yeah.
But it couldn't be too much DIVI on the phone though, because otherwise they're just giving the customers too much free money. Right?
It's not much, because we're talking about developing nations where a little goes a long way.
Okay. Thank you.
My pleasure. All right, we got JT Thornton hopping on stage. What's up,
Justin?
JT? Oh, is it Justin?
It's Justin. Yeah, no, it's Justin.
Justin, you're muted. If you want to chat, now's your time to shine. Give him another second.
Can you hear me now?
You can do it.
Yeah.
There we go. Sorry about that. How are you guys doing?
Good. How you doing?
Doing amazing. Doing amazing. All right. So I got a quick question regarding going back to the La Liga partnership. What are your, I've heard terms like the big, hairy, audacious goal, short-term goal, 1-year goal. I've very curious how you're going to ultimately implement this, where we have a mass adoption. Obviously, you have, the logo, DIVI wallet going around around the stadium and whatnot. But something like what you talked about with the telecom deal, like where people are actually downloading it, like say, all right, you buy a ticket, you get €5 worth of DIVI that's attached to your ticket. So that way people are actually using it because it has more utility at the stadiums. Are there plans for that? And what are some of your short-term, long-term goals with that as it pertains to La Liga?
Great question, man. Yeah, I think the biggest deal, or the biggest part of this deal, is the actual activations. The ability for us to go out there and be in person in the stadiums, whether I'm actually in the stadium or not. DIVI is in the stadium, right? Whether that means purchasing a beer with DIVI, purchasing a ticket with DIVI, doing an entire hospitality deal. Maybe a hotel becomes a DIVI hotel for a weekend or something for a big game. We'll also be at most of the large events, like El Clasico is one of the biggest events of the year. It's kind of like a Pro Bowl, to my understanding of soccer. So we'll have activations going on there. That is our opportunity, and you probably have seen it at the FTX Stadium in Florida, right? Where they give out, they'll airdrop some NFTs or they'll airdrop some Bitcoin or whatever it is to get you to open the app, download it, use it, and learn what it is. Those things are all part of the partnership. That's a big reason they wanted to go with a company like ours over one of the larger ones, because we actually have the hunger and the drive to want to do those more unique activations.
Right.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So, yeah, it's definitely much wider reaching than just the logo everywhere. That's part of it, but it's all these different touch points, right? Like it takes a while to ingrain your brand into someone's mind. So you see it while you're watching the game, and then maybe you go online and you see your favorite influencer talking about it, or your favorite player is talking about it, and then you see an ad. It just builds and builds, and it becomes sort of this. So we're excited to get into the activation aspect.
Right. And are you trying to activate this season, or are you kind of test piloting, coming up with ideas now, and then when the next season starts, is that when you really want to implement it?
Yeah, I think the season is almost over and it picks back up again. Chris, you probably know better than me, but April, if I'm not mistaken. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, so it will more so be activations next season, but
Cool.
we're not far out from that.
Awesome, cool, good info.
Yeah, my pleasure. Definitely,
guys.
man. Thanks for jumping up. All right, we got Grant. Actually, I'm sorry, Grant. I think Michael requested before you, so I'm going to bring him up, and then I'll bring you up. Michael, how are you?
Doing well. Thanks, team, for putting this together. I just wanted to clarify for myself and the question earlier on the stable coins. It's my understanding that we'll have Tether in the wallet in order to make the swaps work.
Yeah, so we're likely to offer both, although we're more leaning toward USDC for a variety of reasons. But yeah, that is basically the way it works to ensure that the coins are self-custodied for the longest period of time. You basically swap into Tether, you hold the Tether, and then it swaps into Divi for you. You don't really see this happen necessarily. It just kind of happens, and it's relatively fast. We're trying to make it as fast as possible. But yeah, you will have the ability to hold stable coins, of course, in the Divi wallet as well, outside of just the functionality of swaps and onboarding.
Great, thanks.
My pleasure. Thanks for the question. Grant, you've been around forever. I'm excited to hear what you have to say. As soon as you connect. We gotta have some like waiting music in between the granting of speakerhood and the actual connection. Yeah, a little. Oh man. Well. There you go.
Grant's one of the Clubhouse OGs, so he's been part of the vocal Divi community for a long time.
That's right. Yeah, he's been around. He's actually shadow banned on Twitter, which is really a shame because he says some cool stuff. But it is what it is. I guess we lost Grant. Papa Joe is in the house. Russ, I saw that you had your hand raised, but maybe you don't want to say anything anymore. I know you're not feeling tip-top shape at the moment. If you want to come up, you're more than welcome to. If we don't have any other questions, or if Grant can't get back here, we can call it a night. I can let everyone get on with their Friday nights. The first Friday of 2022. Oh, we do have Russ. My man. Here we go.
Mic is off. There we go. Mic is unmuted. Sorry, guys. Yeah, I'm under the weather again. Hopefully it's not COVID again. It's just a cold. But we'll find out tomorrow when we get the test results. Just to follow up on one of the questions asked about the season, the Liga partnership or sponsorship deal basically is for 3 full seasons, and then we opted into with a special deal from basically December until July, when the new budget, the new activation budget starts for the next year, the next season. So during this period of time, Zoe and her incredible marketing team and the program management that's getting put in place, working very closely with the La Liga folks in Dubai and her folks there, will be working to build that program out so that we can take advantage of the season when it starts. So between now and the start of the new season, you'll see a lot of things happen. But then when that season kicks off, you're going to see the big full program get kicked into place. The question that I had, and is for Josh, don't know if you want to talk about potential OTC functionality or structure that may be coming down the pipeline, or too premature to talk about that?
No, I think we can. One of the exciting things that we worked on tangentially to the bridge solution and really to help the market a little bit, and I'll give you guys some color on it. Not a lot of folks like to speak on price and market effect, but it's a reality. So I'll go into it a little bit. A lot of you might understand that Divi as a coin has been such an effective monetary payment vehicle that a lot of folks actually transact it between each other, right? They give it to each other wallet to wallet, right? And so part of that result is that a lot of the volume, a lot of the trade volume that actually takes place within the Divi ecosystem isn't necessarily reflected within the exchange, right? So when people are trading the coin over the counter between each other, like let's say for instance, I give somebody Tether and they give me Divi, you're not going to see that reflected on CoinMarketCap, and you're not going to see it reflected on KuCoin, right? And so that oftentimes gives the appearance that there's not a lot of trade volume, when in fact, I know for a fact that there's millions of dollars in trade volume on a daily basis that's happening between individuals. And so one of the things that we worked on to try and help reflect that is creating an OTC desk, right? That could help sort of reflect that volume through the market through either a market making bot that would source that from the market, or a coordinated buy between two parties, right? And so one of the things that we worked on was with our partner Viva Capital. They've been phenomenal, and they offer a lot of different services for people who want to roll over their IRA, who basically want to move away from the traditional financial system and move towards crypto. They offer a lot of those really concierge service products. But one of the things they also do really well is they work with us when it comes to buying large orders of Divi, right? Some of you may know that when you go on KuCoin, it can be a little bit tough if you want to get more than a couple $1,000s worth of Divi, right? And so working with Viva, let's say Viva has a client is looking to buy or purchase a certain amount, they will work with us to coordinate that through the market or through a bot that can actually source it, and really get the most out of the liquidity that we have there, so that two things happen. The buyer who's looking to buy their Divi can get their Divi at the best possible execution price. And then two, the market is actually showing that trade volume, right? And liquidity works both ways. I mean, by them placing that order, they're actually adding greater liquidity to the market too. So that's one of the things that we've done is work with Viva and establish an OTC desk with them. It's also helps from a regulatory standpoint just because they're accredited when it comes to all those things. But we haven't really started promoting it yet, because one of the things that we want to roll out is staking, right? Their clients, Viva clients, like to stake their Divi. And one of the cool things about Viva is that they use institutional grade custody, or some of you might know it as multi-party computation custody, or MPC, to make sure that, you know, God forbid you lost your seed phrase, which you should always hang on to. They actually have a backup in place for you. And so having that institutional grade custody is great if that's what works better for you. But the challenge with that is then how do you stake it, right? As a lot of you know, you need a stake within your wallet. Well, thankfully, Divi has a solution for this through the staking vaults. And so we have a third key that allows somebody else to host your staking without any custodial implications. And so even if, let's say, nobody has the private key, as such is the case in institutional grade custody, you can still stake and earn from your Divi. We're actually finishing up that tech right now, and that's why I haven't really made a big splash about it yet. That's why Russ said I probably shouldn't be talking about it yet, but oh well, it's an AMA. You can ask me anything. So that's, yeah, you know, we'll be honest on here. So that's one of the things that we've been working on, because like my parents, for instance, you know, they're like almost in their 80s now. They can't keep hold of a private key, right? And they want to make a passive return on their Divi. And you know, they can't possibly manage doing it by themselves. So Viva Capital, which is a really kind of great concierge service sort of hedge fund, if we can call them that, has an offering that's really great for that. But more importantly, they've worked with us so that a lot of the volume, and you guys may have noticed this, you may have seen this on the chart on CoinMarketCap. There was one point, I think this was before we went to Spain for La Liga. You saw, or maybe it was before Dubai, Nick. It's before Dubai. Well, you saw a pretty significant uptick in volume, right? part of that was a result of these partnerships that we've done to really create a healthier market, because people go, oh, there's not enough liquidity on the market. Well, now we're driving a lot of the volume toward the market so you guys can see it there. And so that other traders or prospective Divi holders can go to CoinMarketCap and say, hey, what's Divi? And they go and they're like, oh, wait, there's actually a lot of volume there. So we want optics to look good. We want a good presentation, and Viva has helped with that. So
awesome. All
I got
right,
another question. If no one else,
Russian bot, go for it, man.
So I know that bringing exposure to like millions of people will naturally increase the Divi price, but I was wondering, besides exposure, do you guys have anything planned that makes the price go kind of like Ethereum, for example? They have a business model where people need to buy Ethereum for gas, and that makes the price go up. Is there anything similar to that, or any other kind of mechanism that people will have to buy Divi to do something to make price go up, or are we banking on like exposure and stuff like that?
I think that's a good question for Chris to expand on the utility that we're building into the wallet.
Yeah, and it's the perfect question, really, because La Liga is going to give us a ton of exposure, but realistically, that partnership also gives us a lot of relationship building opportunities with the other co-sponsors. It allows us to watch the market and get more kind of deep information about what these like Goliaths in the market are doing right now, and what's succeeding and what's failing, and what may be room for growth, really. So to answer your question a little bit more succinctly, the concept of bridging, the concept of interoperability, will allow us to start to introduce things like the platform concept. So with that, we can start to expand out and potentially even create an ecosystem that requires Divi to make a transaction happen. Right. So we've got opportunities that I think will expand out. We haven't decided in any one direction or the other, but it's always on the back of our mind. It's like, it's not just transaction revenue. It's not just, recurring revenue through partnerships or listings or bridges, but it's also, what do we look at from an interoperability plus utility perspective? So I can't really say, yes or no about whether or not we'll get there, but it's always in the back of our mind.
Okay, and follow-up question.
Exposure is not enough.
Have you guys considered like outsourcing your cash on ramp to other coins?
That's an interesting question. So go ahead, Josh.
I just want some clarity on the question. When you say outsourcing the cash on ramp, the fiat on ramp, are you referring to having Divi buyers buy another coin first that's easier to access and then trading it for Divi? Is that what you're referring to?
Not exactly. I'm thinking like, let's say another coin has a problem that, they're not on any big exchanges or anything, it's hard to buy. They come to Divi for a solution. Hey, can we somehow use you, and it benefits Divi or something? Like maybe they pay you guys in Divi to like make it easy for their customers to get a cash on ramp.
Got it. So we wouldn't be outsourcing. We would be providing a solution to an external party, right? To somebody who needs the solution that we already have, right?
Yeah.
Right. I think Chris is probably the best one, or Nick, if you guys want to answer that. I was just curious what the question was.
With the ability to offer the swapping functionality between the different ERC20 tokens or other layer 1 tokens, any coin that we are able to list in the wallet that can be now self-custodied then could also potentially be swapped. So having a relationship with the financial institution that we are in the process of setting up that will allow the fiat on-ramp to come in, they are on Fireblocks, and any coin that can be purchased on Fireblocks can also be acquired. And if we list it in the wallet, then they can hold it in the wallet. So absolutely, we can list coins that need a fiat solution and or a hosting self-custody wallet solution.
Okay, I would, it gives me an idea. I'd recommend like maybe making a Divi plugin for other websites so they could advertise it to their customers. Like, oh, you want to buy this with cash? Here's how to do it. And they go to the Divi plugin. I think that'd be awesome.
Right. I think there's another angle to this, and I'm probably giving up too much here because this is kind of like the pro tip. If they go and buy eDivi, which will be the Ethereum token within our wallet, this other party or other project can simply deploy a liquidity pool on the decentralized exchange like Uniswap or Sushi, and then they have a perfect on-ramp, right? They buy our coin, they buy eDivi, which drives up our price, which I'll say shamelessly. And then all they have to do is go trade it, swap it on MetaMask if they want. Right? Super simple.
That works too. When is the Binance bridge coming after Ethereum? I assume it's not too long after Ethereum.
Yeah, so one of the reasons we targeted Ethereum first is because, one, it's probably the most bomb-proof layer one. There's some issues with Solana and AVAX recently, but the point of going to Ethereum first is that it's the premier EVM chain, right? That's where the Ethereum virtual machine really lives. And so for us to reach that network as a landing point to then bridge to other chains is super easy, right? The development lift to create the first bridge is kind of difficult, and that's evidenced by the time it's taken us. But building the second one to an EVM chain is pretty simple. And we actually, and again, I feel like I'm giving up so much nitty gritty stuff that I'm not even supposed to be announcing yet, but we have a solution in place so that we can become immediately interoperable with all the EVM chains once we're on ETH. But it'll be some time after the security audit. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think that's all my questions for right now that I can think of. I encourage some other people to ask questions. I think they're being shy.
Well, we appreciate it, man. I think, okay, so we'll take one or two more questions here. We're almost at the end of the hour. So we have Christina Smith coming up on stage. By the way, Russian Bot AI, I'm not sure what your real name is. Great question. So thank you for that.
Silent Death Monkey. That's how you know.
Oh, what's up, man? Yeah, good to see you. Good to see you. All right, Christina, it's your floor.
Hey guys, thank you very much. Super excited about Divi. I really like getting to make new Masternodes, so I'm working on my third one. I got to keep going. So,
congrats.
My question for you, and I thought at one point that I had seen something via the website or somewhere else about having like a Divi debit card itself with a Visa MasterCard logo and being able to use the Divi, coin to actually purchase or pay that bill. Or is that something that was ever in the works, or will it be in the works? That's it.
Yeah, we are still considering partnerships in that arena. So it's been a moving target, honestly. It's been something that we've been talking to a lot of other folks about. We've been talking to a lot of our third party like on and off ramp providers for it, and we haven't locked in on an actual partner yet. We're close. Like Russ and I have been doing some work with some folks in mostly Europe and UK at this point, but there's also the opportunity for a US partnership. So it's absolutely still on the roadmap. It's a little bit more nebulous than some of the other items that we have. So
yeah, okay. we talked to so we have a U.S. financial institution partnership that Chris has been working with to do the integration. And we just started talking with another organization that's out of the UK that serves some folks that can't get access to the U.S. markets for whatever reason, regulatory or otherwise. And both of these partners offer the debit card solution. And so we just have to evaluate what's the right one, or maybe it's both. But there is an opportunity to have VIP level cards with your favorite Liga team or Divi logo. And so, yes, that's coming. It's just the right time and the priority of resources dedicated to make that happen.
Awesome. Well, just so you know, I vote to have one. It's like, please, that would be great. Just get my 2 cents in there, wherever it is in the timeline. Fine by me, just as long as it gets there some point.
100%.
Thank you, guys.
Are you based in North America?
Yes.
Okay.
Washington State.
Good enough.
Nice
For
one.
now.
For now.
For now.
As we all are.
Anybody out there that has a U-Haul or is a moving company, let me know. I'll pay you in Divi.
I love it. I love it. Okay, now I know I said one more, but we have had the Big League Bitcoin kind of sitting here waiting for a little bit. So I'm just going to take this very last question. And Christina, I appreciate your question. It's definitely something that has to be taken delicately, as the team said. So, but it is coming. All right, Big League, what you got for us?
What's up, guys? Hey, man, I am pumped up. You guys are actually just kicking ass, and I am pumped to be part of this project.
Thank you, man. I'm pumped that you're part of it.
Awesome. Hey, just two quick questions. One on the Mochi, on the Masternode setup, on the patent you have on that. Just curious if you guys are having any luck with onboarding other chains and other folks to that Mochi setup, and then two, talking about patents and everything with Reggie Middleton and Veritasium, if you guys have had any conversations or concerns with that.
Okay, so I'll address the Mochi thing. Yes, we have had several Masternode coins reach out about it, and we also have had some coins reach out about the staking vault thing as well, which is of course not patent pending, but it is pretty unique. A lot of coins have opted to go DPoS route, but we want to keep staking decentralized. Some coins still have that outlook as well. So there is a business case even outside of just the active income element to Masternode, or sorry, I should say to Mochi, which is being addressed by several businesses as well, because the patent is really on remote deployment of basically a server that's secured by a private key. So it's an interesting patent that has a lot for further reaching capabilities than just the crypto element. But that's maybe it's a discussion for another time. Simple answer is yeah, we've had a lot of interest, not even just in the Mochi, but just in the wallet in general. People wanted to get listed. A lot of coins don't have an easy wallet or any wallet at all. So there's a huge business case there for us still. As far as Veritasium, I don't think we're at risk there. We, haven't done any DeFi pooling or yield farming or anything like that. I know I'm not super familiar with the situation, but I know it has to do with basically what Uniswap does and SushiSwap and some of the others. So no, we're not at risk there.
Awesome. I appreciate it, guys, and just keep rolling, man.
Awesome. Yes, you too, man. Thank you for the question. All right, guys, we are at the end of the hour, actually a little bit over the hour. This has been an amazing session with everyone. I really appreciate everyone coming out, sticking around, chatting, asking questions, and joining the Live at 5 on Twitter Spaces. First Live at 5 of the year. Today is Friday, January 7th. I can't wait to see what this month holds for us and connect back with you guys next month for the next Live at 5. So we're going to change everything this year, and we're going to start doing the Live at 5 on the first Friday of the month, so that we get the full month of awesome information coming in before we distribute it to everyone. But you guys already know you can always keep up with everything that's going on in real time on our social media channels at DIVI Project across all of the various channels. You should definitely check out DiviWallet.com if you haven't already. Download the Divi Wallet. Learn about the foundation on DiviProject.org. Hit us up on Telegram if you have more questions, and I will see you guys next time.
Woo, that was a great video, guys. So much information happened. The telecommunications deal, Divi leasing their technology to them and just not them buying from them, that is amazing news. So I'm sure their Twitter is going to do a recap on everything that just happened here. I'll cover that tomorrow. I do daily Divi update videos for you. So please hit that thumbs up, subscribe, share if you like this video. And as always, stay safe out there. The Crypto Sherpa is out.